First finalist is set. That's the Royals, the defending national champions representing the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. They were in the NCBS National Championship last year. Two newcomers this year meeting in the second semifinal. The Hawkeyes from upstate New York and the Revolution from Connecticut. I'm Jonathan Horowitz with you from the Silver Creek Sportsplex, rink number 1, part of the U.S. Boxla Nationals. And the Revolution with the first shot. And it comes from Amos Gilbert on starting Hawkeyes goalkeeper John Jacobs. Cam Pilon starting for the Revolution. Run towards goal for the Hawkeyes by Patrick Mitchell, and he'll get the first goal of the game for the Hawkeyes, who are the undefeated #1 seeded team coming into this semifinals. Hawkeyes goal, scored by Patrick Mitchell at 50 seconds of the first quarter. Mitchell for the Hawkeyes at 50 seconds of the first. Revolution now with the ball. Red uniforms, blue numbering, and gray trim. Colsey passes it to the near side, and the shot comes from Lay, and the stave is made by John Jacobs. Hawkeyes now with it. They have the dark green uniforms and the yellow numbering, black trim on their jerseys. Last year, the Armory from upstate New York made it to the finals. Pilon able to make the stop against Green. And this year, it's the Hawkeyes representing the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Last year, the Armory were just 30 seconds away from winning the title, but a comeback on a game-tying goal for the Royals by Jake Govett and a game-winning goal 2 minutes, 12 seconds into overtime by Zach Snyder kept the NCBS National Championship trophy right here in the Golden State. Penalty is called against the Revolution. 2 minutes against Jacob Leibowitz at 2 minutes 30 seconds of the first quarter. Revolution, short-handed, will wind down some of the time that they'll be down a man, and Ryan Colsey with the shot from the point, and the Revolution come away with it, so they'll have some more time to take off of the penalty here. Colsey with the ball. He'll be a freshman at the University of Virginia. 7 goals through the first 3 games of the tournament, right behind Chris Crapanzano, the leader with 9 goals for this Revolution squad. Colsey fires it wide, and not able to control it is Damali. Revolution still have it, so the Hawkeyes with that early 1-0 lead on the opening minute goal by Patrick Mitchell. Not able to get anything going as of yet on this power play. 4 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Hawkeyes undefeated at 3-0 in round robin play. Shot is stopped by Jacobs, and now the Hawkeyes will get it, but they just have 15 seconds to make something happen on the man advantage. Miller with the ball. He had the game-winning goal against the Royals last night that clinched the #1 seed. Down low for Terry. He's the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes with 13 goals through the 3 games of the tournament. Leading scorer across all teams as well. Miller rips it from the point, and the stave is made by Pilon. Miller with 9 goals, including a 5-goal performance in a win against this Revolution squad. 2-on-1. Crapanzano took the feed from Hess, but Jacobs able to make the save. Mitchell, who got the first goal, 2 different color shoes for him. One's red, one's blue. Mitchell backing down on his defender. Leaves it for Miller at the top. And Miller will now get it back off of the pass from Blakesley. Miller led the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League in points during the regular season. Shot from Mitchell from the point. Rebound to Terry, and his turnaround is wide. Revolution come away with it. Back to even strength. Down 1-0 through the first 5 minutes, 45 seconds of the first quarter. Crapanzano, leading scorer for the Revolution, dancing with it. Splits defenders, got away from Finger, fires it across his body, and puts it in the back of the net. Leading scorer for the Revolution, dancing with it. Splits defenders, got away from Finger, fires it across. Revolution goal scored by Chris Crapanzano at 6 minutes of the first quarter. Crapanzano for the Revolution at 6 minutes of the first. So the score is tied 1-1. Mitchell with an opening minute goal for the Hawkeyes, and Crapanzano ties things up at a goal apiece. These two teams did play yesterday. Running it across the goal mouth, the shot across his body from Mazzy. Battle for it in the corner, and the Hawkeyes come away with it. Mazzy at the point. Pass down low, quick turnaround shot, and Terry took the shot, got hit from behind, draws a penalty. Pilon made the save, and an unnecessary extra shove in the back from Amos Gilbert. And so the Revolution will be penalized for the second time in this game. They did kill off one penalty, but you can't keep playing like this. Penalty against the Revolution. Amos Gilbert, 2 minutes for an illegal cross-check at 7 minutes, 20 seconds of the first quarter. Now, in the first power play that the Hawkeyes had, they really only had possession for about, I'd say, 15 to 25 seconds, because most of the time the Revolution just sat with it on offense, would take a shot, get another crack at it. Well, here's Colsey short-handed, bouncing it towards goal, and it'll go off of Jacobs and out of play, so the Revolution will still have it. And it'll be Timmy Lay, the fifth-year student at Boston University, who will wait with it. These two teams played yesterday, and the Hawkeyes won 18-5, a runaway victory in a game that actually was close for the first half and the early part of the third quarter, when it was 4-2 at halftime, 4-3 early on in the third quarter. Shot comes from Savarese, and it'll go back into the Revolution end, where the Hawkeyes will have it with 50 seconds to go on their power play. But after it was 4-3 on a goal by Crapanzano, runs of 6-0 and 8-0 had the Hawkeyes running away with it by a score of 18-5. 9 different players scored for the Hawkeyes. Wind up from the point, and Mazzy's shot is stopped by Pilon. Offensive rebound, though, to Miller. Tries the wraparound, just like he did with 4 seconds left in the win last night against the Royals. And now the Revolution can kill off the rest of the illegal cross-check penalty to Amos Gilbert on this possession. And that's what Cooper DeMalley will wait for. Gilbert out of the box. Goes straight towards the net. Colsey with traffic in front of him. Fires it from the point and makes it through. But Jacobs able to make the standing save. And now we're going to get a Penalty called again against the Revolution, again for an illegal cross-check, and again they will be a man down. Same call, different guilty party. Penalty against the Revolution. Ryan Colsey, 2 minutes for an illegal cross-check at 10 minutes of the first quarter. As he faked the pass, now makes it to Terry, fires from straight away and buries it in the back of the net. Third time's the charm on the power play, and leading scorer, Zach. As he faked the pass, now makes it to Terry, fires from straight away, Santillo. Both squads have number 21s with first name of Rocco Santillo for the Hawkeyes. I mistakenly identified him as Rocco Mazzi for the Revolution a moment ago. Hawkeyes goal, power play goal, scored by Zach Terry, assisted by Rocco Santillo. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 30 seconds of the first quarter. Terry from Santillo for the Hawkeyes at 10:30 of the first on the power play. Two-one lead for the Hawkeyes, who have the ball back with Mitchell, player who got the first goal of the game. Terry with the second goal now has the ball, gets a shooting lane, fires it across his body, and it gets deflected off of the Revolution and will stay with the Hawkeyes. Mitchell rips one wide, out of play, back to the Revolution. Much like the Royals, who are already in the finals, what makes the Hawkeyes dangerous is their ability to pile goals on in quick succession. It'll be whistled back to the Hawkeyes, and to get multiple attempts on offensive possessions. Finger fakes the shot, Deeks goes behind the net, tries to wrap around, and it stays out of the net. Battle for it in the corner, Finger with a check from behind, and it'll go to the Revolution, who will press forward with a chance at a 2-on-1. Damali puts on the brakes, gives it to Lay, back to the near boards. Damali from behind the net. Lay with the shot. Save is made by Jacobs. 2 minutes to go in a low-scoring first quarter, much like the first semifinal, which saw 12 minutes and 40 seconds before the first Royals goal. They would go to the first quarter break up 2-0 before slowly but surely pulling away against the Stoneflies. Miller, draped by defenders, shoots it, and the stop is made. And the Revolution now go the other way. Opening goal came in the first minute by the Hawkeyes, but teams have settled down defensively here. Crapanzano, he's got the one Revolution goal. He dives into the crease, slides into the goalkeeper Jacobs. Ball stays out of the net. Goal, though, comes off of the line, and Jacobs will put it back in its place. 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Shot from the point from Miller. Stop is made by Pilon. Hess trying to chase it down in the corner for the Revolution. A team that lost 18-5 to these Hawkeyes, but close through this first quarter. It's just a 2-1 Hawkeyes lead. Crapanzano shakes, bakes, gets sandwiched between Hawkeyes defenders. And now the shot clock turned off. Hawkeyes trying to come away with it. Crapanzano, he's relentless. And nearly got a takeaway there, but Mitchell will shoot it wide. Ball rolls all the way down into the Hawkeyes end. 5 seconds to go. I'm not sure if the Revolution will get to it, but they should be happy with their performance in this first quarter. That's the end of the first quarter. The score after 1. Hawkeyes 2, Revolution 1. So like the first semifinal, low scoring, Hawkeyes with a 2-1 lead after the first frame against the Revolution. Welcome back inside the wonderful Silver Creek Sportsplex in San Jose. Great hosts to the U.S. Boxla Nationals and this NCBS National Championship Tournament. Start of the second quarter. Jonathan Horowitz with you ringside from rink number 1. Face-off between Chris Crapanzano, the Revolution, Patrick Mitchell for the Hawkeyes, both of whom have scored in a 2-1 game. The goal that gave the Hawkeyes the lead at the end of the first quarter by leading scorers Zach Terry, and Terry's the one with the ball. Goes around a screen, makes the pass into the corner. Santillo leaves it in the corner with the shot sneaking through. And it's Nick Cartmill getting the goal off of the Santillo. Leaves it in the corner with the what? So 2 goals in the opening minute of each quarter. Hawkeyes goal scored by Nick Cartmill, with assists from Bailey Martin and Rocco Santillo at 45 seconds of the second quarter. Cartmill from Martin and Santillo for the Hawkeyes at 45 seconds of the second. Given how the first matchup between these two teams went, I think there would be a sense of urgency for the Revolution not to let a close game break open like the first matchup when these teams faced off. And Colsey with a good shot that made it through, but Jacobs able to keep it out of the net. There's going to be a illegal substitution penalty that's made against the Hawkeyes, so that'll give the Revolution a chance to narrow the deficit. First penalty of the game against the Hawkeyes. Penalty against the Hawkeyes, 2 minutes for an illegal substitution. Being served by Nicholas Long. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes of the second quarter. Well, that's what the doctor ordered for the Revolution. Quick shot off of the start to the power play. Being served by Nicholas Long. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes of the second quarter. They make it a 3-2 game. Both teams with power play goals now. Revolution goal, power play goal, scored by Ryan Colsey, assisted by Amos Gilbert. Time of the goal, 2 minutes 30 seconds of the second quarter. Colsey on the power play from Gilbert for the Revolution at 2:30 of the second. Both teams scoring in the opening 3 minutes of this second frame. 3-2 lead for the Hawkeyes. Miller runs it around the perimeter, fires. Miller runs it around the perimeter, fires. Hawkeyes goal is scored by Nick Miller at 3 minutes 30 seconds of the second quarter. Miller for the Hawkeyes at 3:30 of the second. So 4 different players have scored the 4 different goals for the Hawkeyes. 2 different players scoring the 2 goals for the Revolution. Hawkeyes had 9 players scoring the 18-5 win against this Revolution squad yesterday afternoon. Crapanzano takes one back with the screamer from the wing, and he's picked up his second goal. First player with multiple goals in this game. 5 win against this Revolution squad yesterday afternoon. Crapanzano takes one. Revolution goal, second of the game, scored by Chris Crapanzano, assisted by Ryan Colsey at 5 minutes 30 seconds of the second quarter. Crapanzano from Colsey for the Revolution at 5:30 of the second. Back to a 1-goal lead for the Hawkeyes, who have the ball in transition. Chance for a 2-on-1, and a good check from behind made on Nicholas Long to prevent the scoring opportunity. Shots are 15-12 in favor of the Hawkeyes. Revolution come away with it and looking to tie it up here midway through this second quarter. Colsey retrieves the pass that was out of the reach of Hanley. Battle for it behind the net. Still loose, and Hawkeyes will come away with it. Quickly rushed up ahead by Austin Kelly, who arrived here on Friday, missed the opening night game for the Hawkeyes. Terry gets some space, runs across the goal mouth and scores his second of the game. Terry gets some space, runs across the... Hawkeyes goal, second of the game, scored by Zach Terry. 6 minutes, 35 seconds of the second quarter. Terry with his second for the Hawkeyes At 6:35 of the second. Crapanzano answers back. He's got a hat trick. Crapanzano quarter. Revolution goal, third of the game, scored by Cruz Crapanzano at 7 minutes 20 seconds of the second quarter. Crapanzano with his third for the Revolution at 7:20 of the second. Crapanzano nearly had another one, winning the draw, taking it straight in. And it rattled around in front of the goal. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, 5-4 lead for the Hawkeyes. So this is what the Revolution would want to do as the number 4 seed against the number 1 seed. Miller waits with it, makes the hard pass down low, and as the shot clock was expiring, Green got it on goal, and it's steered aside by Pilon. Savarese runs it to the top of the key. Savarese makes the pass in behind the net, wrap around, and in the creases. Called against Lay. Long pass up ahead, just out of the reach though of Tyler Gould, who got his first goals in the final game last night against the Royals. Got a hat trick too, and got a few of them just like that coming off the bench and going straight to goal. Under 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Hawkeyes leading the Revolution 5-4. Burns Cup champions from upstate New York against the Constitutional Cup champions from Connecticut. Colsey maneuvers towards goal, ties things up. Smart move by him, he's got a strong. Burns Cup champions from upstate New York against the Constitutional Cup champions from Connecticut. Colsey went to the goal and slipped it in past Jacobs to tie things up 5-5. Revolution goal, second of the game, scored by Ryan Colsey at 9 minutes 30 seconds of the second quarter. Colsey for the Revolution at 9:30 of the second. So 5-5 game, much different circumstances than the first matchup between these two teams. Terry the rebound, tries for the putback, but it stays out of the back of the net. 2 straight goals for the Revolution. Chance to take their first lead on this possession. Team that went 1-2 in round robin play. Stepping into it is Gilbert. It gets deflected off of the Hawkeyes. Some pushing and shoving. Gilbert knocking Zervos to the ground. Referees will let them continue. And Gilbert will have it on the restart. Colsey up top, 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Another collision, and a punch has been thrown behind the net. Things finally boiled over. You got the sense that they were heading to this point, and that's gonna shake things up. Already going over to the penalty box from the Hawkeyes is Tyler Good. Referees are conferencing, and you had Zervos, you had Gilbert just pushing and shoving, and Good getting some words into the referee. Referee Justin Kitashima has given the signal. Actually, that's Charlie Whitty, the referee, giving the signal of an ejection for one of the players. I'm sitting on the other side of the scorer's table, so I'll head over at halftime just to sort out the repercussions of all that just happened. Right now, the one penalty that's been put up on the board is the one issued to Tyler Good for the Hawkeyes. Doing my best to read hand gestures, and referee Justin Kitashima puts up hands of 5 and 5, so you may have matching 5-minute penalties. Power play here for the Revolution off of the 2-minute penalty called against Tyler Good of the Hawkeyes. Back to action with 1 minute 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. The outcome of all of it is that the Revolution will have their first power play, or pardon me, this is their first power play of the second power play, pardon me, of the afternoon. They did get a power play goal from Ryan Colsey earlier on. And now a chance to take the lead. Colsey has it, steps into it, and scores his second power play goal of the game. So now the Revolution take a 6-5 lead earlier on. And now a chance to take the lead. Colsey has it, steps into it, and scores his second hat trick. Less than a minute to go in the second quarter. Revolution goal, power play goal, third of the game, scored by Ryan Colsey at 14 minutes of the second quarter. Colsey on the power play with his third for the Revolution at 14 minutes of the second. So 3 straight by the Revolution to take a 6-5 lead. And with the ball here, and a chance to diagram a play. Timeout called by the Revolution. If you're a fan of the sport, you have to be happy to see what you're seeing. A competitive game between two teams that met up yesterday, and it was the Hawkeyes that pulled away 18-5. So you think, okay, number 1 seed, 3-0, defeated the number 4 seed, 18-5. But sports, unpredictable. And when you go back and look at how that first matchup played out between these two teams yesterday, it was 4-3 in the early part of the third quarter. And so the Revolution had a recipe that worked at least for the first half of the game. And the first half here, they're keeping pace with the number 1 seed. And in moments where you thought, okay, the Hawkeyes are going to start to pull away, getting a couple of 2-goal leads in this quarter, the Revolution have always found an answer. And the answers usually come within a minute and a half, 2 minutes of when they've gone down by 2. And then the most recent answer they got by Crapanzano, well, then that fed into 2 straight goals by Ryan Colsey, the most recent on the power play. And that's given them a 6-5 lead after being down 2-1 in the first quarter. It was a defensive first quarter. Teams combined for 3 goals. And now they've combined for 8 goals in this second quarter. 17 seconds, though, for the Revolution to add to it. Savarese takes the ball on the restart. Makes the pass to Crapanzano. He's in his spot where he's gotten a couple of goals. Colsey in his spot where he's gotten a few. And Savarese the one to take the shot. It goes down low. And the horn sounds with some shoving again on Zervos, who's attracting the ire of the Revolution. That's the end of the second quarter. The score at halftime, Revolution 6, Hawkeyes 5. So that end of the first half between the Hawkeyes and the Revolution, it got a bit physical, it got a bit intense, but there's a lot on the line, a trip to the NCBS National Championship game, and it's the Revolution, after losing 18-5 yesterday to the Hawkeyes, have a 1-goal lead at halftime. Could you have predicted it? Well, that's what makes this game a lot of fun. We'll be back with the second half in about 5 minutes' time. You're watching the Score Break produced coverage of the National Collegiate Box Series National Championship on NCBS.TV.
Very early in my lacrosse career, I gained an appreciation for the value of box lacrosse as it carried over into field lacrosse. And every kid should be starting by playing box lacrosse instead of field lacrosse. So many young men from Canada who play box lacrosse are getting a lot of scholarship money in the U.S. for college. By starting this thing in the U.S. now, I really believe that we're going to have a great symbiotic kind of relationship between the education you can get in college, but the kids being better skilled to play field lacrosse through box. You never see a kid come off the rink without a smile on his face, win, lose, or draw. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Number one, it's so much fun. Nobody's pigeonholed into a position. You know, everybody's up. In field lacrosse, you throw a ball over someone's head, it rolls 30 yards, it goes out of bounds. In box, it stays in play. So that the quick, oh my God, I've failed. There is no failure. It just, oh my God, it's in play in a different way. Than the 30-second shot clock and the speed at which it's played can only enhance what we're doing in field lacrosse at the college level. The key for me is using lacrosse to make young people happy.
Welcome back inside the Silver Creek Sportsplex for the second half between the Revolution, the Constitutional Cup champions from the Connecticut Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, and the Hawkeyes, the Mearns Cup champions from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Face-off men fist bumping at center court. Chris Crapanzano for the Revolution, who has a hat trick, and he'll be facing off here against Rocco Santillo, who has an assist for the Hawkeyes. Want to make sure you're aware of what was a significant sequence in the end of the first half as Crapanzano wins the draw and takes a hard shot. Rebound goes to the Revolution. You had the power play for the Revolution where they got the goal that gave them the lead, as we have a player slow to get up for the Hawkeyes, and that is Tyler Gould. He has black numbering and a black helmet. So what had happened was you had a holding the stick call against the Hawkeyes' Tyler Good. We were just talking about Tyler Gould, who came off. That was Tyler Good who got the holding the stick penalty. And then there were matching roughing minors, Abos Gilbert and Tyler Good. So in the end, that set up for the power play as the Hawkeyes will tie things up with a run down low and the Good. So in the end, that set up for the power play as the Hawkeyes ties things up 6-6. Hawkeyes goal, scored by Nick Cartmill. Time of the goal, 1 minute, 10 seconds of the third quarter. Cartmill for the Hawkeyes at 1:10 of the third. And the Hawkeyes quickly adding another goal. And it is Matthew Blight, Nick Cartmill. Time of the goal, 1 minute, 10 seconds of the third quarter. Cartmill for the Hawkeyes at 1:10 of the second half. Blythe taking the feed and putting it in the back of the net. Hawkeyes goal, scored by Matthew Blythe. Assisted by Rocco Santillo, 1 minute 45 seconds of the third quarter. Blythe from Santillo for the Hawkeyes at 1:45 of the third. So after having a 1-goal lead at halftime, the Revolution down by 1 as Jacobs makes the save on Crapanzano. Low shot will sneak through. Terry rolled it towards the goal and it slipped in past Pilon, so the Hawkeyes low shot will sneak. Hawkeyes goal, the third of the game, scored by Zach Terry at 3 minutes of the third quarter. Terry with his third for the Hawkeyes at 3 minutes of the third. So a 6-5 lead for the Revolution, now an 8-6 lead for the Hawkeyes, and this is the point where the Hawkeyes started to pull away in the first matchup between these two teams yesterday. And Hawkeyes keep the pressure on with another face-off win. They had runs of 6-0 and 8-0 yesterday. Pass out of the reach of Terry. Terry will pick up the loose ball though. However, he has his pass intercepted. And Hess brings the ball into the offensive end. The Revolution did find themselves down by 2 a few times in the first half, but did make a 3-0 run of their own at the end of the first half to take the 6-5 lead at halftime. Colsey shot deflects all the way back into the Revolution end. They'll get a fresh 30-second shot clock. Shots are even at 20 apiece at the moment. Colsey from straight away, fires, and Jacobs the save, another one on the rebound. Sprawling, sticking the stick out, and keeping it out of the back of the net. Passes out of the reach of Hayden in transition, but it's the Hawkeyes who still control. Miller trying to fling the pass across the crease, but it's out of the reach of Green. Revolution able to break into the offensive end, though. 5 minutes gone by in a third quarter that has seen the Hawkeyes score 3 goals to erase a 1-goal halftime deficit and build a 2-goal lead. And Miller looking for more, stopped by Pilon. Miller then with a check from behind the net. Hawkeyes with another opportunity, and Goods' pass down low is sticked out of the air by Pilon. Pilon, though, lost it and has to fling it forward, and a chance to get it back with Santillo finding Miller right on the doorstep, and Pilon made the save. Damali for the Revolution, faked the behind the back pass, shot it forward, and Jacobs the save. Rebound rolls towards the corner where Colsey tries to check it away for the Revolution, but the Hawkeyes have it. Cartmill from the wing, pass to the point, out of the reach though of Blythe, and it'll be picked up by the goalkeeper Pilon, and we'll have a penalty on the play with Crapanzano going to the box for a trip. Penalty called against the Revolution. Chris Crapanzano, 2 minutes for tripping at 6 minutes 45 seconds of the third quarter. Miller from the point to kick off this power play. Save is made by Pilon, and Hess will pick up the rebound in front of the net. 3 goals in the first 3 minutes for the Hawkeyes: Cartmill, Blythe, and Terry. And that's given the Hawkeyes an 8-6 lead. Colsey short-handed, fires through traffic, bounced it in. He's now got 4 goals for the Revolution, 6 lead. Colsey short-handed, fires through traffic. Revolution goal scored short-handed. 4th of the game by Ryan Colsey at 7 minutes 30 seconds of the third quarter. Colsey shorthanded with his 4th for the Revolution at 7:30 of the third. Still 45 seconds to go on the power play for the Hawkeyes. They have a power play goal from Terry from the first quarter. Terry is the one who fires it there, and the ball is trapped in the pad of Damali, or of Pilon. Revolution winning the special teams battle, though. 2 power play goals and that shorthanded goal that brought them to within 1. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Crapanzano. Colsey will wait with it along the wing. He'll make the low shot again from nearly the same spot as he got that shorthanded goal, but with less pace on it this time, and in the crease is called on the other end, and the Revolution get it back. They've settled down after giving up 3 straight goals in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. And now they've gotten their feet underneath them, cut the Hawkeyes lead to 1. Big hit And Hawkeyes will get it after Gould was knocked down. Martin, who has an assist in this game, feeds Cartmill. Cartmill pressured, so he'll dish it cross court. Terry. Cross court back to Cartmill. Back to the goal with a light shot that's sticked out of the air by Pilon. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It continues to be back and forth between the Hawkeyes and the Revolution. Hawkeyes with the 1-goal lead, but Gilbert trying to change that. Gets knocked down in the crease, and multiple whistles blowing, and we're gonna get a penalty called with Gilbert, who's been playing quite physically today, and this time he draws a penalty against the player that he's got a little bit of a beef with at the moment in Dean Zervos. They had those matching roughing minors in the end of the first half. Holding penalty called against the Hawkeyes, Dean Zervos, for 2 minutes at 10 minutes and 45 seconds of the third quarter. Hawkeyes come away with it, but give it back to Crapanzano. Crapanzano with a hat trick, Colsey with 4, so those two players, the only two that have scored for the Revolution so far. Colsey from behind the net. Up top, Gilbert winds up, shoots. Jacobs the save. And the Hawkeyes come away with the rebound. Finger in the offensive end. Will wait with it, and 1 minute and 10 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the Hawkeyes. Shot comes from Miller, and the save is made by Pilon. He'll cover it up. Nearing 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and 50 seconds left on the power play for the Revolution, with a chance to tie things up once again. Colsey to Crapanzano, the 2-goal scorers. Make the pass into the corner, but now it goes back up top behind the back shot. That was some nifty stick work. It had some pace on it, but it went wide. Wide again from Gilbert. And it'll roll into the Revolution end, and the Hawkeyes will have the chance to kill off the rest of the penalty to Zervos. Terry falling down as he shoots it, and stop is made by Pilon. Terry with the noticeable blue gloves, plays college at Limestone in South Carolina, and comes up to Rochester in the summers to stay with family, and now part of the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Colsey splits defender, shoots, and it goes into the corner, and then out of play to the Hawkeyes. Miller, who plays at St. John's Fisher College, 4th-round pick for the Buffalo Bandits. Buffalo Bandits and Rochester Nighthawks partnering with the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Terry's run towards goal is now turned the other direction. So great to have this partnership between NLL teams and their respective collegiate box lacrosse leagues. Lay steps into the shot, and the save is made by Jacobs. And then for the Connecticut League, founded by the owner of the Albany Firewolves, Oliver Marty. And we're starting to see the results, the development of talent at the collegiate level in the United States that is now being drafted into the NLL. And Nick Miller, who has the ball, 4th-round pick of the Buffalo Bandits. Miller runs towards goal but couldn't connect with Colt Green on the pass. And now the shot clock is turned off. And Colsey runs it the length of the court and ties things up 8-8. 2 straight goals for him. That's his 5th. Colt Green on the pass. And now the shot clock is turned off. And Revolution goal, 5th of the game, scored by Ryan Colsey. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 45 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Colsey with his 5th for the Revolution at 14:45 of the 3rd. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, going to the 4th. Score is tied. Hawkeyes 8, Revolution 8. Trip to the NCBS National Championship game on the line with 1 quarter remaining. 8 apiece between the number 1 seed Hawkeyes and the number 4 seed Revolution. Welcome back inside what is becoming a louder and louder Silver Creek Sportsplex. You can see both benches banging their sticks against the boards to try and fire their respective teams up for the 4th quarter, and a trip to the national championship game on the line. Tied up at 8 between the number 1 seed, previously undefeated Hawkeyes, and the number 4 seed, the 1 and 2 Revolution. By this point in the 1st game this morning, the Royals were already ahead 9-4 and would go on to a 15-4 game to make it back to the national championship game for the 2nd year in a row. One Trodes goal by Miller, and it's steered aside, and the Revolution survived the first offensive attack from the Hawkeyes in this 4th quarter. But this one is 8-8, so 15 minutes on the clock, and here we go. 8 goals for the Revolution, coming from 2 different players. That man, Crapanzano, with 3, and he makes the feed to Lay, kept out of the net by Jacobs. Lay again. And that man there, Colsey, has 5 of them. So those 2 players with the offensive onslaught. Crapanzano's shot goes wide. Pass up ahead, and a chance 1v0, and a good stop by Pilon coming out of the net to face up on Tyler Gould, and some physical play afterwards behind the net, as there have been some chippy moments through the first 3 quarters. The referee's blowing the play dead, and it's going to stay with the Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes trailed 6-5 at halftime and then got 3 goals in the first 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Terry up top to Miller, over to the far side. Cartmill runs it to the center, shoots it wide. Terry chasing down the rebound, meets a double team, checked into the corner, loses the ball, but it comes out to Cartmill. Miller fires through traffic. And it's gonna be deflected off of the Revolution, out of play, and the Hawkeyes will get it back. No score through the first 2.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Cartmel, look down low. Now he connects. Point blank range for Green, but he can't finish. Terry trying on a second chance. The pressure's still on, though, from the Hawkeyes. Miller runs it to the center. Elects to make the pass into the corner. Cross court. Terry the shot, steered aside. Strum brings it ahead for the Revolution. 8-8 game, 3 minutes through this fourth quarter. Colsey with 5 goals has it. Matched on the other side by the hat trick by Terry, who's the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes. Colsey will be looking for the sock trick. Colsey fires it wide. And the horn sounds for a shot clock violation before Crapanzano could do anything with it on the rebound. Shots 30-28 in favor of the Hawkeyes. Two evenly matched teams who yesterday, it was the Hawkeyes who pulled away by a lopsided margin, 18-5, but a much different story here in the semifinals. Martin up top, Terry fires, and Pilon makes the stop and traps it in the stick. Trouble breaking out, though, and a takeaway, a chance for an odd man rush, but it's out of the reach of Zervos off the pass from Blythe. And the Revolution dodge that mistake. We've seen goals in the opening minute and 10 seconds of each quarter, with the exception of this one. Still no scoring through 4.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. But changing that is Hanley for his first goal of the tournament, and it couldn't have come at a more important time. Scoring through 4.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. But changing that Revolution. Revolution goal, scored by Ethan Hanley at 4 minutes 40 seconds of the fourth quarter off the assist from Ryan Colsey. Hanley scoring for the Revolution from Colsey at 4:40 of the fourth. One of the Hawkeyes players lost his stick. Colsey, cross court. Gilbert with traffic in front of him. Gilbert spins. Gilbert has space. Gilbert shoots and steered aside by Jacobs. 9-8 lead for the Revolution, looking for the upset against the Hawkeyes. 2-on-1 though. Hawkeyes miss an opportunity though, with Martin not able to control the pass. And the Revolution take it away. First team in the finals, the Royals, off of the 15-4 win against the Stoneflies this morning. And their opponent to be determined. Last year, the Royals played the Armory from upstate New York. The Hawkeyes, the #1 seed, heading into the semifinals from upstate New York. Terry shoots across his body. It goes wide. Long rebound set up perfectly for Hess for a breakaway, but the save made by Jacobs. Stays a 9-8 game in favor of the Revolution. Miller comes off of the bench and takes the pass, leading scorer in the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Led the league in assists and points. Eight minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hess trying to feed it to Colsey, but Colsey can't connect with it. Ball rolls around in front of the net, now goes behind the net, and it's picked up for the Hawkeyes by Kelly. finger in transition, brings it into the offensive end. Gets the screen, now makes the pass. The shot comes, but it goes wide from Blythe. Halfway through this fourth quarter. Just one goal scored in the quarter, and it was the first goal of the tournament by Ethan Hanley to break an 8-8 tie. Wind up from Damali, and it'll stay with the Revolution after the deflection out of play by the Hawkeyes. Hanley. Pass up to the top. Shot comes from Lay, and seeing it through into the stick is Jacobs. It's been a 3-0 run for the Revolution since the 3-0 run for the Hawkeyes that gave them an 8-6 lead. Terry with some space, fires, Peel on the save. And that 3-0 run for the Hawkeyes came after a 3-0 run for the Revolution that gave them the 6-5 lead at halftime. Lay, pass over to the far side to Gilbert, into the corner to Colsey. Colsey through traffic, and Jacobs the stop, turns around to make sure that it stays out of the net. He was sitting precariously near the goal line. Under 6 minutes to go now. Miller, forced behind the net. Jumps, shoots, and scores! Tough task as he was hounded by Brendan Rye. But that's what, forced behind the net. Jumps, shoots, and scores! Hawkeyes goal scored by Nick Miller at 9 minutes 20 seconds of the fourth quarter. Miller for the Hawkeyes with his second at 9:20 of the fourth. Now under 5 minutes to play in this second semifinal, tied up 9-9. Hawkeyes win the draw, looking to break the tie here. Blythe into the corner. Cross-court pass, the wind-up from the wing as the shot clock was expiring from Santillo. Revolution will get it back. 4 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Gilbert waits for support from off of the bench, finds Colsey, the man with 5 goals. Colsey bounces it, and Jacobs makes the save. Colsey chases down his own rebound. Pass out in front. Low shot goes wide from Strum. And the rebound rolls all the way back into the Revolution end. It'll be Hawkeyes ball with 4 minutes to go in a 9-9 game. Miller runs towards goal. Gets knocked off his line. Green with the shot. Stop made by Pilon. Here come the Revolution the other direction. Gilbert setting up shop at the point. Pass over to the far side. Strum takes contact, fires and scores! He got checked by Kelly, but up at the point. Pass over to the far side. Strum takes contact. Revolution goal, scored by Riley Strum. Assist by Amos Gilbert, 11 minutes 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. Strum from Gilbert for the Revolution at 11:30 of the fourth. Spin move, sock trick, there it is for Colsey. From Gilbert for the Revolution at 11:30 of the fourth. Spin move! In less than a minute, and the Revolution are up 11-9. Revolution goal, the sixth of the game, scored by Ryan Colsey at 12 minutes 20 seconds of the fourth quarter. Colsey for the Revolution with his sixth at 12:20 of the fourth. Two-goal lead for the Revolution with 2 minutes to go. Revolution have scored 5 of the last 6 goals. Miller trying to change that though. Hard shot from the left wing and it goes wide, but deflected off of the Revolution, so the Hawkeyes get it back. Miller again, takes contact, fires, steered aside. And it'll stay with the Hawkeyes. Terry on the restart. Cross court, Santillo. Cartmill now goes across to Miller. Wind up, and the save on Santillo's shot is made by Pilon. Minute and 20 seconds to go. 2-goal cushion for the Revolution. Clock will stop through this final minute and 13 seconds. Colsey with 6 goals. Facing up on Finger, directing traffic. Colsey trying to clinch this one. Shoots, big save by Jacobs. Hawkeyes pick it up. Less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Hawkeyes came from behind last night against the Royals. Miller the shot, save made by Pilon. He's in no hurry to take the ball out of his pad. Gilbert going against Miller, brings it across the center line. Damali waits with it in the corner. Timeout called by the Revolution. Revolution won the first game of the tournament against the Rivermen, 14-12. But then they would lose the next 2 in round robin play, losing to this Hawkeye squad 18-5, to the Royals 10-7. And so coming in as the number 4 seed at 1-2, they are able to right some of the wrongs that they had in the end of round robin play, and going up against the team that had beaten them 18-5, getting behind several times by 2 goals, most recently when they were down 8-6 early on in the third quarter after the Hawkeyes had scored 3 goals in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. The response from the Revolution to score 5 of the next 6, and the first 7 goals came from Crapanzano and from Colsey, but getting into the mix for the Revolution, some new scorers. Ethan Hanley, his first goal of the tournament. Riley Strum getting the goal. And with 29.9 seconds remaining, the Revolution with a 2-goal lead and looking to make the championship game as a number 4 seed. Gilbert, one hand on the stick, flicks it for Hess. Crapanzano, he's got a dangerous shot from anywhere on the court. He'll just dump it into Jacobs. Timeout call by the Hawkeyes. So 13.2 seconds remaining, and now the Hawkeyes will have to draw something up. Clock will be reset to 14.5 seconds. It's possible, but it will require a very quick goal and then another quick one off of a face-off. And I think at this point, the Hawkeyes will elect to pull goalie John Jacobs for the extra attacker. Last year it was the Generals from the Connecticut Collegiate Box Lacrosse League who went 1-3 in the tournament. This Revolution squad 1-2 in round robin play, getting to the semifinals as the number 4 seed, and at the moment exacting some revenge on the team that beat them yesterday 18-5. 14 and a half seconds for the Hawkeyes to try and turn the ship around. Pilon with some big saves against the big shooters from the point. Hawkeyes will have to get things started from their own defensive end. Blythe takes the ball on the restart, clock starts. Terry, pass down low, quick wrap around, drawing up that play, and we're gonna get a penalty, a hard hit on Miller. Clock stops with 6.2 seconds remaining. That's the same play that Hawkeyes ran to win it with 4 seconds left against the Royals. Really hard hit on Miller. And it's gonna send Amos Gilbert to the box. High sticking penalty, it'll be a 5-minute major. Penalty on the play against the Revolution. Amos Gilbert, a 5-minute major for high sticking. Penalty comes at 14 minutes, 53 seconds of the 4th quarter. Miller gets up, certainly sending best wishes to him. Leader in points and assists during the regular season for the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. 7.1 seconds remaining, and pass off of the restart in behind the net. It's broken up. Hess with a battle for it, and the Revolution will go to the championship game off of an upset. Tied 8-8 after 3. Revolution come through for the victory. That's the end of the 4th quarter. The final score: Revolution 11, Hawkeyes 9. The Revolution advance to the NCBS National Championship game to take place at 1:30 between the number 4 seed Revolution and number 2 seed Royals. Coming up next, the consolation game between the number 5 seeded Rivermen and the number 6 seeded Grays. Some great lacrosse there, and now we know the matchup for the finals at 1:30. The Royals looking to defend their title, going against the Revolution, who were the number 4 seed, who had lost to the Hawkeyes 18-5 yesterday, and they had their backs against the wall for much of the first half, ended up going on a 3-0 run to take a lead into the halftime break. Hawkeyes came back, credit to them. They scored 3 straight in the first 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter to retake the lead, and then back and forth, tied at 8 after 3. But ultimately, the Revolution having a little extra left to pull through, getting some key goals in the 4th quarter from players who hadn't scored in the tournament yet, like Ethan Hanley. Also Strum getting a goal, but it was the 6 goals courtesy of Ryan Colsey and the 3 goals from Chris Crapanzano that led the way offensively for the Revolution to their 11-9 win. We have the consolation game coming up next. Rivermen, previous NCBS national champions in 2019, taking on the expansion team in this year's tournament. The Grays from the newly created Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. It'll be great to see their style of play, Ohio against Mid-Atlantic. And then the finals at 1:30, East Coast, West Coast, Revolution and the Royals, and we'll have it all for you on NCBS.TV. Thanks for watching the 2022 National Collegiate Box Series National Championship.